Yes, mates, how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL Punk YouTube channel, where we try to dominate FPL one game week at a time. The new season of FPL finally launched today, and I've just created my very first draft. If you enjoy FPL content, please subscribe to the channel down below. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Be strong.
In goal, I have gone for Kelleher, who made the transfer from Liverpool to Brentford. He's only 4.5 million. I think he's one of the better 4.5 million goalkeepers available. Brentford have always done pretty well defensively. They've always kept a decent number of clean sheets. And I think it was quite impressive for Liverpool. And I think the price that Brentford paid is a good price. I think he'll do well this year. And I think people are expecting Brentford to struggle. I'm not. I'm expecting a drop. Brandon Bumo's just been confirmed to Man United. Like, he's just got all his pictures and signing the contract done today. Like, I've just seen some pictures. So they might struggle from that point of view, but I do still think they've got a strong team. Like, they've still got a good squad. I don't think they'll allow many more of the heavy hitters to leave. Someone like a Witter, I don't see leaving unless someone comes in with a 60-70 million pound offer, and I don't see them doing that. So I still expect Brentford to do well. I still think they'll keep a decent amount of clean sheets. They've got an okay start to the season, so as a result, I'm going to kind of stick with a 4.5 million goalkeeper for now. I've gone for Kinskett as my backup goalkeeper. Thomas Frank just came out and just said that he really likes him. So whether there's going to be a battle between Vicario and Kinskett, like, remains to be seen. But as of right now, he's only 4 million. I don't mind going for a bit of a gamble on something like that. First up in the defence, I've gone for Wan-Bissaka away to Sunderland. I just really like this as a pick with the changes to the bonus point system where they're rewarding tackles. Like, we all know Wan-Bissaka is an absolute monster when it comes to tackles. So a 4.5 million, like, they've got a good first game. They've got a relatively decent start to the season again. I just like him as a pick, and at 4.5 million, I don't feel like I'm kind of gonna lose out on anything there. I do have Concert as backup on the bench, who's 4.5 million, but he's at home to Newcastle this week. And I have gone for Aidan Heron as my 4 million defender. This could be anybody, really. Like, whether someone's got any kind of advice about 4 million defenders, I've not looked too deep into it right now, but I'm a Man United fan. I'm going to pick Man United players at every single opportunity. Every time I've seen it, Aidan Heron play, I really like him. I know Lisandro Martinez is back fit, and he's probably going to play that in that left centre back role, but every time I have seen Aidan Heron play, I just think he looks like an absolute beast, quick, powerful, relatively decent pass through the ball as well. So I think there's a good player in there, and at 4 million, I do think he'll get games. I just don't think he'll start regular, particularly early on with the first game being at home to Arsenal. I have gone for 2 premium defenders, and I've currently gone for Virgil van Dijk at home to Bournemouth, 6 million, and Cucurella at home to Crystal Palace, who's also 6 million. He surprised me, Cucurella, actually. I kind of wrote him off maybe towards the beginning of last year, and I just think he's done really well under the system. He looks really attacking. Just all round us looks really good, and he's just really surprised me from kind of all aspects, really. I still think he's a bit of a rat, and I can't stand him from like being like a rival fan. Like, I still think he's a dirty little rat, but he's playing well, mate, and I think he's probably a little bit overpriced. I think I'd prefer it if he was 5.5. I do think he's still too close to someone like a Van Dijk. So this pick may change to someone like a Gabriel or a Saliba or something like that, but as of right now, I'm pretty happy with my defence. They've all got decent games. They've all got decent starts to the season. Let's move on to the midfield. And this is where I've put a lot of my money into this area of the pitch. And first up, we've got Cole Palmer, Cucurella's teammate, 10.5 million. And he's just looked impressive every time I've seen him. Like, he had that drop-off at the back end of the season. I still think his all-round play was decent. He just wasn't getting involved in the goals. But in that Club World Cup, he just tore PSG an absolute new one. Like, he destroyed them. Like he was just so impressive all round, and he's just such a big game player. And with Chelsea start to the season, who in my opinion have probably got the best start to the season, it's just hard to look past a double, maybe even triple up of Chelsea. The only reason why I've not tripled up as of right now is that I don't know who to go for that third slot. I'd rather keep that one free, and then if someone looks like they are going to emerge as that third best choice player, then I can dive on those straight away. But Cole Palmer still on penalties. I don't see him losing that to anybody. Still a good price. again, probably similar to Cucurella. I think he's 0.5 million too expensive. I think 10 would have been perfect. But I get the reason why. Like if Palmer didn't drop off towards the back end of last season, like he was gonna just be on for an absolute monster season again. So I could get why he's priced the way he is. Next up, we've gone for Ndai from Everton, and he's just got a good first game, and I didn't really know who to go for in this slot here. Like that, this could have been a few different options. I didn't know whether to go right down and get like a 4.5 to 5 and try and move the money around and put money elsewhere. But I think he's on penalties again. David Moyes has been there a little bit longer now. Since David Moyes came in, kind of halfway through the season, everyone I've just looked better from all kind of aspects. They've looked like a better unit, better defensively. Probably scoring a similar amount of goals, but I think Ndai will still be on pens again. Great first game, and that's something that I'm kind of trying to focus on. Trying to target those newly promoted teams, the teams that might be down towards the bottom, and I think that's the key to kind of having a decent start. It almost feels like a risk-free with this one, where he's decently priced. I could maybe target someone a little bit cheaper and then move something around, but I like the pick as of right now. It might change moving forward. I don't see any kind of really cheap players emerging. I don't mind someone like a Damsgaard. With Brian Mbeumo leaving, like is Damsgaard going to step up? Is West going to take the pens? There's a few question marks still remaining, and things could still change. But as of right now, like I really like Ndai as a pick. And of course, we've got Mo Salah because just why not? I didn't have Salah at the beginning of last season. I actually had Haaland. I didn't get Salah to maybe game week 5, 6, or 7, somewhere around there. But he's just an absolute monster. Like he always starts the season pretty well. They've got some good. They've got some good early games. The champions, 14.5 million. Yeah, like I know it's a lot, but I just think he's worth every single penny. I think he's just an absolute monster. Like he's still on penalties. I don't see him giving them up or handing them to anybody. I know Florian Wirtz has taken penalties for Leverkusen in the past, but I think he took, was it 4 last season or 4 for Leverkusen? Like I saw something recently where he scored 2 and missed 2, so like he's not even got a great record anyway. Like it's not something like it's like an Ivan Toney or a Cole Palmer or a Bruno Fernandes that just had this incredible penalty record. It's not someone like that coming in, so I'm not worried about Salah losing penalties. And I have gone for a new player, which is not something that I typically do. I like to pick more kind of established Premier League players. I've gone for Wirtz right now. Yeah, I just think he's a baller, mate. I think he's a great signing for them. It'd be interesting to see how Liverpool line up, in what formation and where Wirtz plays, like whether he's going to play on the left of a 3, or he's going to play as the false 9, which he has done for Leverkusen, or whether he's going to play as that number 10. Ideally, I'd prefer him as the 10, with someone like McAllister and Gravenberch behind him, providing that cover. That's probably what I prefer, but I think he's that fluid and that good that I think he could play in any of those forward positions. And 8.5 million, I actually think he's underpriced. Like I spoke about players being overpriced with Cucurella and Palmer, I think Wirtz is actually underpriced by maybe $1 million. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he came in at 9.5. Like he's coming in as the record signing into the champions. I think he'll start, I think he'll play, and as a result, I just think he's a little bit underpriced. The last one I've gone for, Kudus, and I don't actually love this pick. I just think he's a decent option. I don't know where he's going to play. He does give me like Mbeumo vibes in that he's like a right winger cutting in on his left. I think he's a bit more dynamic and a bit more explosive than someone like a Brennan Johnson. Probably similar like a Brian Mbeumo in that way. So it'll be interesting to see where Brennan Johnson actually plays, like whether he gets moved or Kudus plays on the left, or they move things around. But for 6.5, I think he's decent value. They've got Burnley in the first game, so again, like I'm targeting those newly promoted teams, and that's the reason why I've gone for him, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on to the forwards. Last but not least, we've got another Spurs player in Dominic Solanke, and I was thinking about this before, and I think a few people have had kind of similar epiphanies almost, where this kind of like mini eureka moment where he's 7.5 million, decent first game at Burnley at home. We all know what Thomas Frank has done with his previous strikers, with the likes of Ivan Toney, and we're certain maybe some in the past there as well. Did Ollie Watkins play under him? Anyway, he's always had good goal scoring forwards, and Solanke reminds me more of like an Ivan Toney. Can link the play, really solid player. May even get penalties as well. I don't think Thomas Frank is going to love Heung-min Son. I don't think he's his type of player. So as a result of that, I think Solanke probably leads the line, probably gets penalties there as well. And at 7.5 million, doesn't feel like I'm taking that much of of a gamble on somebody really. Like, we all know how good he can be, particularly that season that he had for Bournemouth. A few other players are on that price point. I think Chris Wood is around 7.5. Don't love that. I don't feel like he can replicate what he did last year. But that was a massive breakout year. I still think he'll do well. I think he'll get maybe 13, 15 goals, like somewhere around there. And at certain points in the season, I think he will become an option. But as of right now, I do like Solanke. And I've partnered him with Jared Bowen. Again, I don't particularly love this pick, but his first game is just too enticing for me right now to ignore. 8 million. Might not even play as the striker. Might play more of like a right wing, right forward. I don't think it really matters. I just think he's that good that I don't think... Yeah, like, I don't think it really matters for him. Like, where he's going to play. Probably on penalties when Paqueta's not on the pitch. And that's something I'm trying to look at. Like, how many penalty takers can I fit in this team? Could we move some things around and get somebody else in? Yeah, maybe. But I do really like this lineup. And I've gone for Creepy Jr. from Bournemouth as my forward bench player. He just has some decent stats. I think he played in France last season and put up some decent stats in there as well. So a 4.5 again, like, it just feels like a risk-free option. So what do you think about my overall team? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. So this is my very first draft for the new season of FPL. If you think I've missed anybody, leave a comment down below. Feel free to roast my team, rip it apart, and we'll have a little chat in the comments. Have a good day. Peace and love.